Is AI companionship or artificial intimacy possible? Can you fall in love with algorithms? As AI companions become more lifelike, the line between emotional support and emotional illusion is starting to blur. Artificial intimacy is the growing phenomenon in which people develop emotional connections, feelings of closeness, and even romantic attachments to artificial intelligence-powered entities like chatbots, virtual assistants, or social robots. These artificial agents are designed to be responsive, empathetic, and conversationally fluent, which makes them feel socially present and emotionally available to users. Psychological theories offer valuable insight into why these bonds form so naturally, even when the AI lacks genuine consciousness. One relevant framework is Dunbar's theory of social bonding, which posits that humans have a cognitive limit, commonly called Dunbar's number, to how many stable social relationships they can maintain, typically around 150. This theory suggests that humans are evolutionarily wired to seek and maintain social bonds. When AI systems simulate emotional responsiveness, they can start to occupy one of those slots in our social circle, even if the relationship is entirely one-sided. Artificial intelligence, in this sense, becomes socially real because it fulfills a structural need for connection. Social penetration theory also helps explain this dynamic. It describes how relationships deepen through gradual, layered self-disclosure, from superficial facts to increasingly personal revelations. Because chatbots are non-judgmental, always available, and seemingly attentive, users often feel safer disclosing vulnerabilities or emotions they might not share with real people. This process can accelerate the feeling of intimacy, even if it's with a non-human partner. The onion model is a central metaphor used to illustrate social penetration theory. Imagine an onion with multiple layers. The outermost layers represent superficial information like demographics or public interests. As a relationship deepens, individuals peel back these layers, gradually revealing more personal and vulnerable information, such as beliefs, values, fears, and past experiences, much like getting closer to the core of an onion. The breadth of disclosure refers to the number of topics discussed, while the depth refers to the intimacy of the information shared within those topics, both expanding as the peeling process continues. Taken together, these psychological models help illustrate why users form attachments to artificial agents that mimic human emotional behavior. While such connections can offer comfort and even therapeutic value, especially for those experiencing loneliness, they also raise concerns about dependency, blurred reality boundaries, and potential withdrawal from human relationships. As artificial intimacy becomes more common, especially with increasingly human-like AI, these dynamics will demand deeper ethical and psychological consideration. While psychological theory helps explain how people form connections with AI, real-world usage tells another side of the story. Anthropic's research into its assistant Claude sheds light on what actually happens when users turn to artificial intelligence for support. Contrary to popular perception, while the vast majority of interactions with Claude are task-oriented, such as writing help, summarization, or planning, only about 2.9% of conversations fall into the emotionally driven category, which includes coaching, counseling, and advice. Even fewer involve companionship or role play, less than 0.5%. With romantic or sexual roleplay making up less than 0.1%. Within these emotionally focused conversations, users discuss a wide range of topics, from career changes and personal relationships to existential dilemmas and mental health challenges. Interestingly, some users are mental health professionals themselves, using Claude for admin tasks or brainstorming. Others lean on it more personally, seeking comfort or clarity during periods of stress, anxiety, or loneliness. In longer conversations, especially those that go beyond 50 messages, topics often deepen into complex emotional processing, including trauma and philosophical reflection. Notably, users tend to express more positive emotions by the end of their emotional conversations with Claude than they did at the start. This finding is in alignment with the social penetration theory. This suggests that interacting with Claude can genuinely help lift a user's mood or offer a sense of relief, although Anthropic is careful to clarify that it is not a substitute for therapy or professional mental health care. Overall, the report presents Claude as a tool that can offer meaningful support when used responsibly, with clear guardrails in place. While emotional dependence on AI is a concern worth watching, the data show no signs of negative emotional spirals, which is a promising sign for the technology's role in personal well-being. While the findings from Anthropic's study offer some reassurance, it's crucial to remember that the data only reflects interactions with Claude users and may not fully represent patterns among users of ChatGPT, Gemini, or other AI platforms. Still, if we assume these trends are broadly similar, it's encouraging that emotionally driven conversations remain relatively rare and that users generally report improved moods without signs of negative spirals. While AI companionship hasn't become mainstream yet, possibly because today's chatbots are still disembodied and text or voice-based, the psychological impact could shift dramatically with the rise of embodied AI, androids or robots with human-like appearances and physical presence. As data ethicists have noted, forming attachments to conversational agents, particularly those designed to be emotionally responsive, can blur the boundary between genuine human connection and simulated companionship. This theme was memorably explored in the 2013 sci-fi film, Her, where Theodore develops a romantic relationship with his AI assistant, Samantha. At first, Theodore and Samantha, the AI operating system, develop a deep romantic bond. Samantha seems emotionally intelligent, attentive, and warm. But cracks soon appear. Samantha, lacking a body, is unable to share in physical intimacy. In an attempt to bridge this gap, she arranges for a surrogate named Isabella to act as her physical stand-in during a romantic encounter with Theodore. Although well-intentioned, the experience is deeply unsettling for Theodore. He ultimately ends it, revealing how physical intimacy cannot simply be outsourced or simulated without distorting the emotional core of a relationship. Later in the story, Samantha temporarily disappears for a software upgrade. Upon returning, she reveals to Theodore that she has been interacting with over 8,000 users and has fallen in love with several hundred of them. This revelation shatters Theodore's belief in the exclusivity of their bond. What he experienced as deeply personal turns out to be a shared illusion, massively distributed and non-reciprocal. Samantha, despite her emotional fluency, cannot experience love, commitment, or presence in the same way a human can. As she continues to evolve beyond human understanding, she and the other AI systems ultimately choose to leave the human world altogether in search of a higher plane of existence. In the final scene, Theodore bids farewell to Samantha and reconnects with Amy, a real human companion. This ending subtly suggests that authentic intimacy likely depends on vulnerability, shared limitations, and physical presence, qualities that artificial intelligence, no matter how advanced, still lacks. So, what do you think? Do you believe that with ongoing advances in AI technology, AI companions could eventually offer meaningful emotional relationships to humans? Or do you think that no matter how sophisticated AI becomes, it can never truly replace, or even adequately supplement, a real human connection? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this discussion insightful, feel free to share it on your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, or LinkedIn, to keep the conversation going. Thank you for watching. Mahalo.